Recently, I've been thinking about some of my favorite forms of entertainment and why I love them. And when I look back, I see one consistent genre: adventure. Almost all my favorite video games, movies, cartoons, anime, and entertainment in general all contain some adventure or journey. And that made me think, what is it about this genre that I love so much? The answer was rather simple: being able to slip away from the pressures of life and experience the wonders of an adventure is something I can't get enough of. So today, I want to discuss two pieces of art that capture adventure in great detail: Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and the Marineford art in One Piece. This video game and this manga/anime both display some of the elements that keeps me coming back to this genre, which are the atmosphere, the exploration, the thrills, and even the dread. This is my love for the adventure genre. Before we dive into the meat of this video, what exactly is an adventure? A quick Google search will tell you that an adventure is an unusual and exciting, typically hazardous experience or activity. With this definition, a lot of things can be described as an adventure. For instance, if I was walking my dog around the block and saw a raccoon looking for their next trash can, that would technically be an adventure. But that's too short. My encounter with the raccoon would have lasted no longer than 2 minutes, and that's no fun. A proper adventure would have lasted at least a day, I would think. I want to be fully immersed in my journey. I want the melodramatic rush followed by the feeling of dread bringing me back to reality, just for me to overcome that angst and have a euphoric-like feeling of satisfaction. That would truly be an adventure. To me, at least. Unfortunately, I might not ever get the chance to experience that type of adventure. The world has been explored in almost every nook and cranny, and I don't exactly want to risk my life trying to get a thrill, even if it's unmatched. However, that's where entertainment comes in. Around the middle of the 19th century, the adventure subgenre became increasingly popular, with classics like The Time Machine by H.G. Wells and Journey to the Center of Earth by Jules Verne, paving the way for creative adventure stories. The genre could only go up from there, resulting in more immersive and bigger scaled adventures. My type of adventures. On March 3rd, 2017, the Nintendo Switch released, and alongside it was one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time: Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. At the time, life was slowly becoming more and more stressful, and I needed to escape, so when I got my Switch and a copy of Breath of the Wild around 2 months after release, I was ecstatic. Roaming around Hyrule for the first time was an unmatched experience, and this is all thanks to the many fascinating areas of the map and the masterful game design. It creates an incentive to explore the world that doesn't feel forced. Rather, it feels like a fun side task to do before starting something large. However, this concept is great, but when it's done in a game like Insomniac's Spider-Man, I was unimpressed. In that game, it was the same concept: reach a beacon and do a little puzzle, then your map expands. But I found myself only doing this to make my playthrough easier, instead of being fueled by curiosity like Breath of the Wild. Yet this due to Spider-Man being a more story-based game than Breath of the Wild, nonetheless, the world of Insomniac's Spider-Man could have been just as appealing as Breath of the Wild's. But I digress. Every area in Breath of the Wild felt like it had some secret lying around, waiting to be discovered, adding even more incentive to explore. When I found one of the great fairies for the first time, it felt as if I came across some gold mine. And when I found the meadow full of horses, I was extremely excited. It was so great just to explore. While exploring though, the mood has to be just right. If not, immersion will be lost. Luckily, Breath of the Wild didn't lose any of its immersion. One of the main reasons for this was how the game captures the atmosphere of any setting. When I'm in an open field, the sounds and scenery make for a nice, calming, yet curious mood. When I'm in Central Hyrule, surrounded by guardians, I'm pumped up and ready to fight or find a way to escape. When I climbed up Mount Lanayru, I felt at ease as I heard the serene music and the water flow. The game does a great job of making you feel the mood of its many areas, which help the world feel real, thus helping it become immersive. Breath of the Wild lets you explore such a vast world made to get lost in, capturing the exploration and atmosphere of an adventure. Your adventure. One Piece, on the other hand, doesn't capture your adventure. It showcases Luffy's journey as he builds a crew and searches the seas for the treasure of all treasures, the One Piece. And this allows it to capture other elements of an adventure more profoundly. One Piece puts the vigorous and sorrowful moments of a journey on full display. What is an adventure without typically hazardous, and in this case, dramatic experiences? Luckily, One Piece is home to both. In terms of hazardous, one of the easiest examples is the Marineford arc in One Piece. In this arc, Luffy's brother, Ace, is captured by the Navy and is said to have a public execution. However, Ace is part of Whitebeard's crew, and Whitebeard refuses to let any of his sons be harmed. This incidentally causes a war between Whitebeard alongside his allied forces against the Navy, all while Luffy is just trying to get his brother back. One simple thing, like a pirate getting captured, turned into a race against the clock, a war that will heavily affect the future and go down in history, and a wake-up call for the main character. With such stakes, the action seamlessly falls into place. Luffy's entrance to the war is iconic. Right after ransacking the most dangerous prison in the sea, Luffy comes falling down from the skies, dead smack in the middle of the action, a sequence that makes my inner child smile brightly. And what about when Jinbe launched Luffy across the plaza and he landed in front of the three admirals? Gives me chills just thinking about it. Although this arc is filled with action-packed and hair-raising moments that initially attract me to the adventure subgenre, what keeps me coming back for more are the dramatic aspects. As stated before, Marineford is about Luffy trying to save his brother from execution. When someone thinks about an adventure, they usually only picture the scenery and the thrills, yet One Piece shows us that it would never be that simple. You, the person watching this, have ties to other people in this world, and that means there is a chance that those people dear to you may be affected or affect your own adventure. Ace was out on his own adventure, lost the battle, and paid the consequences, but since Luffy has close ties to him, his journey changed pace. And seeing Luffy fight for not only his life, but Ace's life during this war was a spectacle, simply put. The emotions I had not knowing if he'd save him or not were all over the place. Then it happened. Luffy freed Ace, just for the joy that followed to be short-lived. Very short-lived. Luffy was brought back to reality against his own will, his brother murdered in front of his own eyes. It's scenes like these that make me wonder if I would actually even want to venture out into such a cool world. Am I fit enough to see my own family die right next to me? Would I be able to risk it all for something I could easily live without? I don't think so. However, this is why I love games and anime like Breath of the Wild and One Piece. I can adore all the thrills, joy, and dread in the comfort of my own home. Thank you for watching. This was just a video where I just nerd out about an anime and a video game that I like. And if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. These works of art have given me an experience that I don't think I'll get anywhere else. Thanks again for watching. Peace.